Hey everyone, in this little video we're going to be modifying the Meister R GT1 dampers to make them lower. I apologise in advance for the garage door noises that you're going to hear in this video because it's windy now. We're getting to shit season here in Sweden when it's cold and miserable. That noise there, it's not my arse, it is the garage doors and it's insane. So apologies, hopefully you can hear me over the garage doors. In a recent video I installed Meister R GT1 dampers on the Pulsar and they're brilliant, but here's the car. The fronts had loads of adjustment left to go lower, but the rears, the damper was maxed out low and it was hitting the boot for the drive shaft, so I couldn't get them any lower. So I had a word with Meister R and said, what can be done about this? And they said, we've never heard that before with the Pulsar gti-r. I explained that the car's stripped out and I explained that I have all kinds of issues, and they said, okay, what we can do is we can send you some helper springs and you can fit those to the rear dampers and then they will essentially allow the car to run lower. And then you can kind of adjust the ride height and hopefully drop it maybe 30mm more than it is now. So here are our little helper springs. They came today, looking very tidy. So we're going to get the rear dampers off the car and we're going to get these fitted and then reverse the process. So first things first, I'm going to get the wheels off and get the car jacked up and then I'll show you what I mean on the car. Hopefully you can see this okay. So this distance here is 52mm and that's as low as I can go, and the reason why is if you look here, hopefully you can see the drive shaft boot and you can see the bottom of the damper is almost touching the drive shaft boot, so can't go any lower on the rear. So I'm not going to video this, but I'm going to take the damper off and then we need to take the damper body to pieces to install the helper spring, and then we can kind of fit it all back up on the car, see how it looks. So SpongeBob back in a sec with our damper.
A few moments later.
So there we go, dampers off, looking like new because they are new. We're going to take off these bottom support collars here for the hub, take off locking ring here, take off the little bracket for the brake cable, brake hose, sorry, take off the locking collar and the spring perch, and then we can hopefully get this on. I'm thinking that this goes like that and then get everything reassembled. Meister R have told me that they go for 2mm compression on the spring. Sorry for the noise, it's really pissing me off. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately, or just pretend it's me. So I'm going to go for 2mm compression when I tighten it all back up again, and then we can hopefully reassemble, get it back on the car. Okay, done both sides now. Apologies for the extra noise, that is Malin strimming outside. So we've got the door and Malin now making noises, so hopefully you can hear me okay. So that's both sides done, and I've gone as kind of tight as I can with these brake hose sort of clips in place. So I've gone for 2mm compression on springs. So now I'm going to drop them on the car, and then we'll drop the car down and see how it sits, and hopefully it's going to sit lower, and with a bit of luck I can always wind up the spring a little bit more to get a little bit of compression on that helper spring, because that's the theory, that the helper spring is weaker, which means that the car will sit lower because the helper spring can't cope with the weight. Although doesn't quite make sense to me why that works when it's taken up a lot of real estate on the actual damper body. But we will see. I could be completely wrong, and hopefully, most likely I am. It's usually the case. So let's get the dampers on the car. Let's get the car lowered down. Let's have a look. Hopefully you can see, as I keep saying, that okay. Probably not, looks very, very dark. But that's all fitted up now, both sides, so I can get the sway bar connected up properly. I'm not going to finalise the brake hose or anything like that, sorry for the noise. So annoying. Bit to finish, it sounds like something from a, I don't know, Jim Henson movie. But going to get the car lowered down now. I'm going to leave it 24 hours to see what the ride height looks like after it's had a chance to settle. So let's do that, back after a SpongeBob.
A few inches later.
Afternoon. So it's been a few days now since gravity has been doing its thing on the rear dampers on the Pulsar, and while I was waiting I decided to lower the front suspension a little bit, just because I thought it made more sense for you guys to see kind of how the Pulsar will end up and how it will look fully lowered. So I've not played with the rears at all, just the fronts. So that being said, let us have a look at where we've ended up. And here we are. And I think, not sure which side is the best side to show you, but I think it's kind of obvious now that the car is a lot lower at the rear, and I've lowered it at the front to match. Nearly fell over then. Go to the other side just to show you, in case this is a better view. So this is our rear now, and there's our front. So rather than it just being a visual thing, the rears were 100mm, somewhere around there, just over 100mm from the top of the rim to the bottom of the fender, and now they're 84mm, and the fronts are now 84mm. The fronts have got loads of adjustments still. The rears I can probably adjust a little bit if I wanted to, but I think that is spot on. So there you go. If you have Meister R GT1 coilovers or other brands of coilovers that don't come with helper springs, and you have an issue where you can't lower them sufficiently because your car's lighter or things getting in the way or whatever, what you can do is you can always fit helper springs, and that might give you a little bit more room than you would have had otherwise. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and on to the next one.